Remember, the next episode after this is already up live and available to watch now by over 4,500 incredible fans on the world's largest and highest earning anime and manga Patreon in the world. The links are in the pinned comment and description. See you there.
What have you done? Videl! Fun! Oops. So our story continues with the violent explosion in energy and power of Gohan, after the arrival of Gohan Black, who made his entrance just as violently by blowing up Videl and his baby Pan right in front of the Saiyan's face, now just smirking as his twin would be filled with rage, eyes glowing a demonic red as Gohan would completely lose himself. But noticing the immense power, rather than fear, Gohan Black would instead appear even more interested, impressed even, as he would think to himself, I wasn't expecting this at all. To think I would find this timeline's Gohan like this. Why was he not involved in the battle earlier? His power seems just as impressive as the other two. And what's more, it's mortal energy. This is no divine key like those imposters. Now that is admirable, Gohan. But galvanized or not by his opponent's show of power, the enraged and sorrowful Gohan would not be finished getting stronger, as his body, appearing like a never-ending source of energy, an infinite generator, would just continue to spew out red and yellow lightning, along with a powerful fluxing aura until... You'll pay! You'll pay now! Like a gunshot, Gohan would explode off the line, immediately at Black's face with a speed even the warrior from the future couldn't believe, with a brief air of surprise on Black's face until... Subarashi! As instantly, Gohan would then slam his fist straight onto Black's face, sending him immediately hurtling back. This is stronger than the Gohan I knew! How is that possible? I should have taken this one's body. As even mid-flight back with his cheek concave inwards, blood spurting out, Black would still be deep in his thoughts at just how surprising this turn of events was. Why would you do that? But thoughts were cheap when this version of Gohan was truly out for the kill, following up instantly with a swiping kick, reliving his youth like he had never forgotten how to fight. And like he had the speed of Goku's Kaioken, he would then explode again, making Black look like he were moving in slow motion, flying around to reach him and... These Saiyans, they don't make sense! Coming in to then uppercut Black, straight into his kidney, winding Black like he had never been winded before. The air in his body positively sucked out as finally Black was facing some hardship and from an unlikely but ironic source. The next move being Gohan bundling his hands together, tightly before whacking Black like a tennis ball back down to the depths of hell where he belonged. But in reality, where Black would really end up would be inside of one of the few spared buildings left whole in Orange City, crashing straight through its roof. His impact on the ground alone bursting open an unintended broken passage in the front, where Black would now reside. Subarashi, indeed! But immediately, the black silhouette of the future warrior would already be then seen standing up. And with his giggling running through the air now, and a suspicious purple glowing tint to his eyes activated, bad times were coming. But not before Black would comment, I'm so glad I got to feel this kind of power and pain from you, Gohan. You've just made me remember exactly why I chose your body for my plan. The Zero Mortals plan. What limitless potential you have in every single timeline, it seems. I don't even know what those red eyes of yours are, but it just goes to show I haven't even begun to scratch the surface of what our body can actually do. Have I, Saiyan? As on saying this, very quickly, a flashback would occur, initially overlooking some divine planets, but on one such in particular, two Kais would be seen, one yellow and one green, both observing a giant crystal ball. As soon enough, Gowasu would be shown, with his hands behind his back saying, "Come here, Zamasu, and look at this. You say these mortals have no hope, no intelligence to save themselves, that we should just intervene and stop their endless destruction. But come here and see. Not all planets, nor all universes are ever the same. What you will see here is a mere infant mortal saving his entire planet. A boy with enough power to defeat a ruthless creature." Power? But a slightly triggered Zamasu, interrupted from his tea drinking, would be disbelieving, commenting, "Please, Lord Gowasu, as the strongest Kai that has ever been, please do not tell me of the power a mortal has. Slamming sticks onto each other's heads does not constitute power to me. This boy may be saving his family from some kind of scruffy dog, but that does not mean they are not better off ruled by us gods." You have quite the imagination, Zamasu. Just listen to me and watch this crystal ball closely. Consider it a part of your training. Be prepared to be shocked. But with a smiling and humoring Gowasu ordering his pupil, Zamasu would then begin to finally look straight forward and with intention. And to our surprise, in the crystal ball would actually be a live view of teen Gohan in his Super Saiyan 2 form, dispatching of perfect Cell, as Gowasu would let out, "You see? That blonde young man, a Saiyan born on Earth. Try and sense his power. You should be able to tell. He's even stronger than you, Zamasu." Stronger than me? A mortal! which instantly knowing his wise master would not lie to him, would leave Zamasu lost for words. Until... This is not right! This is blasphemous! This power, it must be mine! It must belong only to gods! Until ultimately it would turn back to Zamasu's inherent rage and disdain towards mortals, a vein appearing on his skull as he would begin to put a plan in action to attain this powerful boy's body. But back in the present, out of the building, a pair of feet would of course finally begin walking out. To think, I would need to use this form twice today. What an interesting timeline this is, Trunks. As once more, Gohan Black would reveal his Ultra Ego form. How he achieved this, still a mystery, but one that probably began with a threat to Goasu's life, and thus blackmailing of Lord Rumshi himself to train him. But standing with that sinister confidence and smirk, Black would signal, "Come, as strong as you are, it's time I showed you the difference between a mortal and a god." But still not in control of his mind anymore, Gohan would only have destruction and murderous intent on his thoughts now, just powering up again before soaring forward again like it was another day at the office, while Black would just remain unmoved. And that unmoving would unfortunately just continue, when as soon as Gohan would land, no matter how bulky and muscular he would be now, Black would stop the attack in its tracks, with no movement back on his end, and with a simple, backhanded block. Damn, on second thought, maybe the other two were stronger. This level of strength won't be able to even damage me. As the angry Gohan would then shift to confusion, as he would suddenly sense a dark presence behind him and... Shut up! Before he could react, he would be grabbed by his skull from behind and... like Black was using the Force, or bursting open an invisible energy, Gohan would be launched straight into the sky like a rocket, his body flailing, unable to do a thing even in his beastly state. Now, how much damage can you really take, Gohan? But it would seem it would only be the appetizer to the real main course, as suddenly generating a thunderous storm right in his hand. It would all be to fire off a giant ball of energy that chases after the still soaring in the air Gohan. And before long, it would begin to completely eclipse him, taking him into the powerful and destructive energy until... erupting in a seismic explosion over the skies of Orange City, Black may have tested Gohan's body a little too much. Videl! Or at least we would have assumed, but it seems Gohan was a lot stronger than he or Goku had ever thought, as still groaning away, his anger would be all that he needed to keep him going. But even in this eventuality, Black would already be prepared, as the next sight Gohan would be faced with would be an army of smaller energy beams right at his face, ready to finish the job. No! As in a horrific Freezer-esque display, Gohan's body would then be riddled by these energy beams, blasting him on every possible section of his body for maximum damage and maximum pain. Got him! And on the ground, of course, the assailant would be Gohan Black, his hands in the air with two smoking fingers pointed into the sky like he were a cowboy with two guns. As seemingly knowing he had finished his opponent, he would then place his hands on his hips and let out. Unbelievable! Not a single one of those beams pierced him, and he's still alive. This version of Gohan is something else. What a waste it will be for your body to be lost. Oh well. As with Gohan's body now near lifeless in the sky, reeling from the damage it had just received, it would still remain conscious. But Black would be ready to finish his energy attacks and begin flying with speed to his twin up in the sky as if about to capture his prize. Struggle as much as you want, but I know as well as you, this body has its limits. You'll die soon. It's just a matter of when. As reaching right on top in a flash, Black's entire hand would become coated in a dark purple aura before... With a magnanimous clap that would echo through the now empty city, Gohan would be slapped straight into the ground. Pan, I won't fail you. And even when Gohan would be seen in a crater, trembling in pain, his body damn near paralyzed, he'd still find the perseverance to cling to life just to avenge his family. And it wouldn't go unnoticed, as Black would soon come down to his level, and to his surprise, Gohan would already be up, like he were just an unkillable zombie now. Do your worst! You'll still pay for this! And even when unable to attack back, Gohan would defiantly let Black know he would get his revenge some way, somehow. You know, when I took your body the first time, I never did get to hear you fight back. It's strangely full circle to hear you now. But I promise, this will be my worst now, and it will be your end. Not even a god could come back from this one, Saiyan. As powering up in Black's hand now would be a ball of undeniably destruction energy. Hakai! The end of one Gohan and the continuation of another would then finally be confirmed, with Ultra Ego Gohan Black not just having the form for show, and truly having mastered the power of destruction. The young Saiyan from Earth's face now, lost in the light, as he would begin to ultimately vanish to nothingness, his revenge story ending here. Gohan! You need to survive! Trunks! But unbelievably, at the very last second, a savior would come, as Trunks, who was not killed earlier, would come rushing in to barge Gohan straight out of the way, sacrificing himself in a poignant reverse of what his own master Gohan did for him in his future, to save this timeline's version instead, instilling him with the same words of hope that he must survive. This is the end. I'm sorry. And just like that, Trunks would never return to his timeline. Gone forever, not even sent to the afterlife. As with a view on the end of Black's palm now, just dust would now be left of the blue-haired Saiyan. Trunks! And as for Gohan, he'd be left screaming out a name of someone else he'd lost once again, and just nothing he could do to save them but just watch. Gohan, come with me! But just when we thought tragedy after tragedy would keep coming, yet another guardian angel would seem to watch over the young Saiyan, when a strange black silhouette would suddenly appear out of nowhere, like an instant transmission, and immediately grab onto Gohan's shoulder. Before, just like that, he would steal him away entirely, the two vanishing from Black's sights. What? Where did he go now? As left perplexed, just like the first time Trunks escaped his grasp, Black would be left frozen, still wondering why Gohan's energy signature had completely vanished and how. But now in the far outreaches of a mysterious space, several divine planets would now be in view. Where is he? Where? As abruptly the serenity and peace would be dropped when Gohan would land alone in a grassy field and instantly continue his battle mode, looking side to side rapidly for Black like he was still there. Wait, this isn't... And it wouldn't be long before his primal nature would begin to calm, and he would realize what would have just happened. You guys! And his eyes would then widen when finally he would see who else was here, staring forward as... Kibito Kai! Old Kai! As right in front of Gohan would be two of the most important figures from the previous Buu saga, the fusion of Kibito and Shin, and the ancient Kai that escaped from the Z-Sword. You can calm down, Gohan. You're safe now. It's just us. Black won't be able to find this place. Yes, that whippersnapper might appear to be a Kai, but only in his universe. You'll be fine here. Huh? Black? But why? Why did you? As Gohan now continuing to lower his guard, would then suddenly give in completely, returning back to base as his red eyes of rage would vanish and he would be left questioning calmly. If you've taken me here, who's protecting Earth now? Don't tell me you just made me run away, Kibito Kai! You didn't run away, Gohan. You've just come here to regroup. Things weren't going well. We need a plan, and that's why we're here. What? No, Kibito Kai! That guy is going to annihilate everyone on Earth! He already killed my family! He already killed Dad, Vegeta, Trunks! I'm all that's left to save Earth! You need to take me back! You're not strong enough, Gohan! We'd be taking you back just to die with them! And you know that. As sharply, Old Kai would then intervene
with a dead serious tone and voice, bringing reality back to the situation. And Gohan's response would be one of acceptance, looking at the ground forlorn as he would mumble back, "I know that, but it doesn't matter. I still have to try, just like Dad did, like the rest did. They gave it their all, even if they were going to lose. I have to do the same." "You're right, Gohan. Your dad did give everything he had. He and Vegeta used their strongest forms, and it wasn't enough. But you, Gohan, you unlocked a form right there and then through your rage and anger, a power that surprised everyone. And that's because not even you know when you've truly given your all. In essence, your potential is still not unlocked." "Huh? My potential? But..." As Gohan understandably would be confused on hearing this, letting out, "But old Kai, when you sat me down for all that time and did that ceremony back then, you told me it was to unlock my hidden potential. It worked, didn't it?" To which the old guy would then respond, "Clearly it didn't. If one's full potential is fully unlocked, it should mean they have reached their limit. There should not be any way to get stronger from that point. But you've proven it wrong. In hindsight, with the situation at hand and how little time we had with Boo's progression, I may have finished prematurely, giving you just enough strength to win, which you would have had you not been so cocky. But now I know, if I really had gone the whole way, I could have, but not without consequence." "Consequence? What do you mean?" This final ominous statement leaving Gohan questioning until... "If I really bring out your full potential, young Gohan, the consequence will be my death. A Kai would die in exchange for bringing out a power this large, in a mortal no less. How ironic." "What? You die? No, I don't want that. I don't want to be responsible for you dying." The reaction from Gohan being one of disapproval, while Kobito Kai would just remain silent, almost as if he had accepted the Elder Kai's decision. And before long, a pair of feet would then begin walking in response. As old Kai, now walking past Gohan into the distance, would look behind and say, "Come, Gohan. This old man has lived long enough, child. In truth, I miss my slumber in the Z-Sword. Let me do one last thing of note before I go, and create a hero to save not only his world, but his entire universe one day." "Old Kai, are you sure?" As Gohan turning his head now, knowing he wouldn't be able to convince the elderly deity any different, would just question him one last time. The ultimate sacrifice, but perhaps the only way Gohan could save anybody from Black. But talking of Black, back on Earth, Gohan Black would remain alone on a now entirely destroyed Orange City. "It's been a whole day! I refuse to believe this damn mortal is successfully hiding from me. Could it be he too managed to escape to another timeline like Trunks? There's no way! The machine is destroyed!" But his frustration would soon be interrupted when he would begin sensing the arrival of two power levels, one of which was extremely familiar to him. Over there! So you're back! As looking to the sky up above, two warriors would suddenly indeed appear. There he is. I can't believe he looks just like me. How offensive. I hope Videl and Pan didn't get to see him before he did what he did. Don't worry, Gohan, they didn't. As revealed up top would of course be Gohan and Kibito Kai, the Saiyan now back to full health and back to his senses, looking down calmly, as the Kai would then say, I leave this all up to you now. Don't hold old Kai's death over you, Gohan. This is what he would have wanted. I know you won't let him down. To which Gohan, smiling, would begin extending his hand saying, thank you for everything, both of you. I'll finish this here, I promise. The two would then handshake, the Supreme Kai completely believing in the Saiyan, before he too would vanish, leaving Gohan to fend for himself. Black, I believe you've been looking for me, so let's hear what you have to say. These will be your final words. As staring down coldly with complete confidence, it would seem Kibito Kai would be right to have his belief. But it would be at this point that Black would then say his most callous line. I believe I have been. I couldn't leave this timeline without knowing I eliminated all you damn Saiyans. I see your eyes aren't red anymore. What's changed? Calm down. You must have forgot. I killed your wife and child. No, I haven't! As the second Gohan would hear this, his true mortal rage would trigger again, instantly sending him into a power-up, but this time, one he was doing on purpose, as bolts of lightning would spontaneously erupt all around him. And outstretching his arms, Gohan would give into his latent powers, his body undergoing a change unlike any other, as his hair would now begin to flash from black to white, and the whites of his eyes would turn from white to an abyss-like black. Subarashi! You can power up at will now, mastered in only a day. How impressive, Gohan! You remind me of what a good choice I made every time I see you. I love this! But the naive Black would just clap and clap, enjoying the spectacle, thinking more about himself than what power Gohan was tapping into. Literally just standing there, as up above Gohan's aura would just get larger and larger, commanding more and more thunder and lightning. But as Gohan would now begin reaching the completion of his transformation, his now fully white hair would grow out wildly, while white fur would then emerge from all his pores, along with a white Saiyan tail that spontaneously sprouted. Hold on! But only when it would reach this completion would Black begin changing his tune, muttering, "This isn't the same as before. He didn't just master it in a day, but ascended? What is this form?" As now up in the air, Gohan's aura would explode outwards into a sky-covering flash of thunder. And when finished,
floating in his all-new form, he would be a man of little words, completely unrecognizable to the Gohan we once knew. He would initially just stare down at his prey with his now glowing red demonic eyes. Well, bring it on then. I've warned so many of you types not to push me like this, but you never learn. Death won't bring Videl or Pan back, but at least it will save anyone having to see that disgusting face of yours. You mean the face that's yours? Big talk, my furry twin, but you forget. It is I who possesses the power of a god! As Black, refusing to care, would just instantly transform back into his ultra ego state. Enough of your blasphemy! I'll allow you to rejoin your family now! And just like that, Black would rush straight to Gohan. Oh Kai, seems you succeeded. But the second Black would reach Gohan, and he would swipe his fist fully, at the very last possible second, he would be met with nothing, with Gohan vanishing and... What the? Get off of me! With the smoothest of movements, Black would feel in slow motion Gohan's arms moving around his skull, until ultimately he would be trapped between Gohan's hands, holding him in a lock, as Gohan's face would remain completely emotionless in contrast to Black's panic. But Black would soon begin giggling anyway, letting out, "Nice move! But what is this going to achieve? Maybe you didn't get the memo, but any damage I receive in this form will only make me stronger. Let go and try to finish me with a Kamehameha, like you did with Cell. That's the only way. I'm disappearing, you damn Saiyan." But Gohan, still maintaining his stoic look, would just reply, "That's interesting, but I didn't ask, and I'm not trying to damage you either." This was to kill you. As unbelievably, with extreme precision, effortlessly, Gohan would snap Black's neck, spinning it 360 degrees in an instant and in one single move. The giggles of Black ended abruptly, as just like that, his silent body would then fall to the ground with a crash. And as Gohan would descend behind him, clearly, Black would be dead. No games, no joking around, just dead instantly. This version of Gohan was not the cocky self he was against Cell nor Boo. This version of Gohan finished the job he was given. And now, looking at his own fist, all Gohan could say was, "This is the power I always had. So Dad was right all along. Now, even you, Black, seem like a worm to me. What do I even do with this power? How can I use it to bring everyone back?" But this view of Gohan would then move further out, the entire scene seemingly being watched through what looks like a cloud. But as the scene would move more into the distance, among the smoke, a spiky-haired figure would watch until revealing himself as... Wow! Just wow! I can hardly believe my eyes. After all these years, a true demon has finally arrived in the mortal realm. a descendant of royalty, and stronger than even a devil. I can't remember the last time this happened. Seems Zeus really is losing his way to allow this. Pitiful elder gods. The time of the 7 princes of hell may be sooner than I expected, and perhaps this boy will be the key.
But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag 7princes in the comments down below and let me know, who is this guy? Or just find out right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.